What if I told you that you could build a power station that's just as capable as those $800 commercial units for less than $300? And the best part, if something breaks, you can fix it for under $100 instead of throwing away the entire system. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover exactly how to build your own emergency power bank using affordable components, learn why LifePO4 batteries are the secret weapon of preparedness experts, and see how this DIY approach can save you hundreds of dollars while giving you more flexibility than any store-bought power station. Welcome to Prep Pantry, where we help you prepare smart without breaking the bank. If you're ready to take control of your emergency power needs, hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving preparedness tips. Let's be honest, the emergency preparedness market has become expensive, really expensive. Walk into any outdoor store or browse online and you'll see power stations starting at $600 for basic models, climbing to $800 or more for anything decent. And here's the kicker. When you want to expand your power capacity, those proprietary expansion batteries can cost over $1,000 each. But here's what the manufacturers don't want you to know. These power stations are essentially just three basic components packaged together in a fancy case: a battery, an inverter, and some output ports. That's it. You're paying hundreds of dollars for convenience and marketing. The real problem isn't just the upfront cost. It's what happens when something goes wrong. If your $800 power station fails after the warranty expires, you're often looking at replacing the entire unit. The inverter died? Too bad. Buy a new power station. Battery degraded? Same story. You're essentially throwing away hundreds of dollars because one component failed. This is where the DIY approach changes everything. For around $300, you can build a power bank that performs just as well as those expensive commercial units. But more importantly, you get true modularity. Need more power? Add another battery. Inverter fails? Replace just that component for under $100. Your system grows with your needs and your budget. Now, let me introduce you to the game changer that makes all of this possible: the LifePO4 battery. LifePO4 stands for lithium iron phosphate, and these batteries have revolutionized emergency power storage. A single 100 amp hour LifePO4 battery gives you approximately 1,280 watt hours of energy. To put that in perspective, that's enough to run LED lights for days, charge your phone dozens of times, or power a small refrigerator for over 24 hours. But capacity isn't the only advantage. These batteries come with built-in battery management systems, or BMS, that protect against all the things that made older batteries dangerous. Overvoltage, undervoltage, overheating, the BMS handles it all automatically. This means you can store these batteries indoors, on their side, upside down. Orientation doesn't matter. No toxic fumes, no risk of leaks, no explosion hazards like you have with lead acid or marine batteries. And here's something that might surprise you. For emergency preparation, you don't need the most expensive LifePO4 batteries. If you were living off-grid or using the system daily, brand quality would matter more. But for emergency use, where the battery spends most of its time on the shelf, even lower-cost brands can serve you well for years. So what exactly do you need to build your own power bank? It comes down to three essential components, and I want you to think of this as building blocks rather than a complex project. First, you need your LifePO4 battery. This is your energy storage, the heart of your system. Second, you need an inverter to convert the battery's DC power into the AC power that most of your household devices require. Third, you need a DC output adapter, essentially a way to tap into the battery's power directly for devices that can run on DC power, like USB chargers for your phone. That's it. Three components, around $300 total, and you have a functional emergency power station. Now, let's talk about choosing the right inverter, because this decision can make or break your system's effectiveness. Inverters come in different types and wattages, and understanding the difference can save you money and headache. For sensitive electronics like computers, medical devices, or anything with a digital display, you want a pure sine wave inverter. These produce clean, stable power that's identical to what comes from your wall outlet. For less sensitive devices like fans, basic lights, or power tools, a modified sine wave inverter will work fine and cost significantly less. As for wattage, think about what you'll actually need to power. A 1,000 watt inverter can handle most small appliances, several LED lights, and charge multiple devices simultaneously. Going bigger isn't always better. Larger inverters consume more power even when they're not under load.
When it comes to connecting your inverter to the battery, you have two options. Alligator clips are quick and easy, perfect for temporary setups or if you're just getting started. But for better efficiency and a more permanent setup, lugs that bolt directly to the battery terminals are the way to go. They provide a more secure connection and reduce power loss. Here's a crucial efficiency tip that can dramatically extend your battery life. Whenever possible, use DC-powered devices instead of AC. Every time you convert DC power from your battery to AC power through the inverter, you lose energy in the conversion process. A DC refrigerator might use only 50 watts and consume around 300 watt-hours over an entire day. The same refrigerator running on AC through an inverter could use 20 to 30% more energy due to conversion losses. This brings us to the third component, your DC output adapter. This is usually a simple cigarette lighter port that connects directly to your battery. These adapters often include USB and USB-C ports, letting you charge phones, tablets, and other small devices directly from the battery without any conversion losses. Many also display the battery's voltage, giving you real-time feedback on your power levels. Safety is paramount with any electrical system, so make sure all your connections are properly fused. Most DC adapters come with built-in fuses, but adding external fuses provides extra protection. It's a small investment that could prevent damage to your entire system. Let's talk about keeping your power bank charged and ready. The beauty of LifePO4 batteries is that they hold their charge well, but you still want to maintain them properly. A simple trickle charger, costing around $20, can keep your battery topped off while it sits on the shelf. These deliver a small current, typically 2 amps, which is perfect for maintaining charge without generating excess heat. Just plug it in, connect it to your battery, and forget about it. But what if you need to charge quickly? Maybe the power went out, you used some of your stored energy, and you want to recharge from a generator. This is where higher amp chargers come in. A 10 amp charger will fully charge a 100 amp hour battery in about 10 hours. A 20 amp charger cuts that time in half. Just be aware that faster charging generates more heat, so these aren't meant to run continuously. And while we won't dive deep into it today, you can absolutely integrate solar panels into the system. A solar charge controller, some panels, and you have renewable energy feeding your battery bank. It's perfect for extended outages or off-grid situations. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually use the system when the lights go out? The beauty is in its simplicity. Your battery powers the DC adapter directly. Plug in your phone chargers, LED lights, small fans. For larger devices, flip on your inverter and you have standard AC outlets available. You can power radios, charge laptops, run a small TV, or keep a refrigerator running. During Hurricane Sandy, people with systems like this were the ones with working cell phones when everyone else's died. They had lights when neighbors were stumbling around in the dark. They could run small appliances and maintain some normalcy while the grid was down for days. One of the biggest advantages of this modular approach is expandability. Need more power? Just add another LifePO4 battery to your system. You can connect them in parallel to increase capacity or keep them separate for redundancy. Try doing that with a commercial power station. You'll pay premium prices for proprietary expansion batteries that only work with that specific brand. You can also upgrade components individually. Started with a basic inverter, upgrade to a larger or pure sine wave model later.
Want faster charging? Add a higher amp charger. Your system grows with your needs and budget. Let's talk about storage and maintenance, because this is where LifePO4 batteries really shine. Unlike lead-acid batteries that need to be stored upright in ventilated areas, LifePO4 batteries can be stored anywhere indoors. Closet, basement, garage, temperature extremes won't hurt them like they would other battery types. Check the charge level monthly and top off with your trickle charger if needed. That's basically it for maintenance. No water to add, no terminals to clean, no complex procedures. Compare this to those expensive commercial power stations. Similar capacity units cost $600 to $800. When you want expansion, you're looking at $1,000 or more for additional battery modules. And when something breaks, you're often replacing the entire unit. With your DIY system, component replacement is affordable. Inverter dies, replace it for under $100. Battery degrades after years of use, swap in a new one for around $200. Your total investment remains a fraction of commercial alternatives. But let's address the elephant in the room. Isn't this more complicated than just buying a ready-made unit? Honestly, not really. If you can connect jumper cables to a car battery, you can build this system. The connections are straightforward, the components are designed to work together,
And once it's set up, it's actually more reliable than integrated units because you're not dependent on proprietary parts. The real question is, do you want to pay premium prices for convenience, or do you want a more capable, expandable system for less money? For most people focused on emergency preparedness, the DIY route makes perfect sense. Let me paint a picture of what this looks like in practice. You've assembled your system in a plastic storage bin. Battery, inverter, DC adapter, all connected and ready to go. The power goes out. You grab your bin, set it up wherever you need power, and you're back in business. Charge your devices, power some lights, maybe run a fan. When morning comes and you fire up your generator, plug in your charger and replenish what you used. Your neighbor who bought that $800 commercial power station, they're doing the exact same thing, except they paid more than twice as much for the privilege. This DIY approach isn't just about saving money, though you'll save hundreds. It's about taking control of your preparedness. You understand every component. You can repair or replace anything that fails, and you can expand your system as your needs change. The preparedness community has embraced this approach because it works. It's practical, affordable, and reliable. Most importantly, it puts you in charge of your emergency power needs instead of leaving you dependent on expensive commercial solutions. As we wrap up, remember that emergency preparedness doesn't have to break the bank. With a LifePO4 battery, a basic inverter, and a DC adapter, you have the foundation of a robust power system. Start there and build as your budget allows. The modular nature means you can spread costs over time, upgrade components individually, and tailor everything to your specific needs. It's preparedness on your terms, at your pace, within your budget. If you found this information valuable, make sure to hit that like button. It helps more people discover these money-saving preparedness strategies. Subscribe to Prep Pantry for more practical tips that help you prepare smart without overspending. And drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your own DIY power projects or answer any questions you might have. Stay prepared, stay smart, and remember, the best emergency plan is the one you can actually afford to implement.